On Osrc News at 7, Ondo State prepares for local government elections amid low campaign activity. Federal government allocates 15 billion naira for Benin-Accra Elisha Road dualization. China, Nigeria strengthen bilateral ties, reject external interference in African affairs. Non-differencing, fire kills 5 people, destroys 1,000 structures in Los Angeles.
Hello and thanks for joining us on the news tonight. I am Sahid Aribisala. We begin the news on the political front. As Ondo State gears up for its local government elections on January 18, 2025, the political landscape seems calm, with little or no visible campaign activity. The tension and the fanfare typically associated with elections appear subdued this time around, leaving many to wonder how the political parties are preparing for this crucial poll. There's more on the preparation of various political parties for the election in this next report. We'll bring you that report in the course of the bulletin. Experts in Ondo State have lauded President Bola Tinubu's recent submission of 4 tax reform bills to the National Assembly, calling it a transformative move for Nigeria's tax system. The proposed bills include the Nigeria Tax Bill 2024, Nigeria Tax Administration Bill 2024, Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Bill 2024, and Joint Revenue Board of Nigeria Establishment Bill 2024. Omar Olangbeji sampled opinions of economic experts on the potential impact of these reforms on Nigeria's economic growth and now reports.
The 4 tax reform bills submitted by President Bola Tinubu aim to overhaul Nigeria's tax system, enhancing efficiency, reducing burdens on low-income owners, and stimulating economic growth. These bills, forwarded to the National Assembly in October, seek to balance equity with economic realities. Economic expert Stephen Awurere welcomed the initiative, stating that it would empower states to better utilize their resources for growth and correct systemic abnormalities.
If there's gold in Zamfara, why don't let us not deregulate? Let's Zamfara. Let them exploit their gold. We tax them. Through tax, we bring something to the central. If we have granite in Ondo, why don't we deregulate? If we deregulate the solid mineral sector, it will allow each state to be able to take control and maximize what they have in their state, and more tax will flow. The generation will increase globally, nationally, and each state will now be able to contribute something that they are able to get from that pot.
Tax experts Olawale Ijalano applauded the reforms as a significant decision by the administration to address inefficiencies in the tax structure. He noted that including experts from various regions in the drafting process reflects a commitment to fairness and inclusivity.
The present administration is saying what you get from the system should be a function of what you are giving to the system. So I think that is a very good, a very reasonable basis, a very reasonable mechanism for assessing the VAT revenue. Government was meticulous about it. They have the tax reform committee that have been working, I think, for about a year now before coming up with this tax reform bill. So they have assisted the professionals from the private and the public sector who have really worked on this proposal. So it's not that it's one of the best things that I've seen from the present government.
They encouraged stakeholders of various states to leverage this opportunity for sustainable development by maximizing their revenue-generating potential.
There's no region that does not have a strength that it is not maximizing today. Every region has lot of potentials. For example, I've just mentioned that in Ondo State we have a lot of potentials that we're not maximizing. But if this tax something comes on stream now, it will force us to become productive. People just want to be lazy.
I expect each state to be, because if revenue is shared on the basis of what is coming out from that state, then I expect every governor in a state to now begin to look for how to develop his own state. Each state will be able to develop at their own pace.
The proposed reforms are expected to streamline tax collection and administration, fostering economic growth by lowering barriers for businesses and individuals. With the National Assembly set to deliberate on these bills soon, there is optimism across the country regarding their potential positive impact on Nigeria's economy. Omorola Mbiji, Osrc News.
Now let's bring you the report on the preparations of political parties ahead of the January 18 local government election in Ondo State amid the seeming calm in the political landscape in the state with no visible campaign activities. And of course, the absence of the usual tension and fanfare associated with elections subduing at this particular time. There's more in this report.
Barely a week to the local government election in Ondo State, the political climate, according to watchers, is witnessing an unusual silence with little or no activity.
Everything has been calm. I've seen activities from a particular political party, particularly the APC, and I have not seen much of other political parties. Though I heard that there are few activities too coming from that.
Despite a seeming lack of activity, representatives of various political parties say their strategies are already in place as they set their focus on grassroots engagement and voter outreach.
We have conducted primaries, candidates are matched, and we are preparing. Campaign materials have been printed, and then we expect that all is also good on the side of the umpire, which is ODEC. From our own side, we can speak for ourselves. We are ready for the January 18 local government election.
Local government is a government of the grassroots. It's a government that is closer to the people. So we are confident that SDP will win this election.
13 political parties presented candidates for the election coming up 18th January 2026. So that the political parties are not preparing, it is never the truth.
For residents, these strategies appear to be less visible, even in the late stages of the race.
People need to vote because that exactly is their franchise, that's exactly their voice, and it is the power they have to determine the direction they want the society to take. So that is important. But whether they will come out to vote or not is also a reflection of how they perceive governments or democracy generally.
While grassroots strategies are being emphasized, some political party representatives believe the recent history of multiple postponements of local government election years.
So this election has been postponed about 2 or 3 times now. And at each of those times, parties have already put in machineries in place, expended resources, of course, and then we are sure that this will hold.
Political parties are calling on the election body to maintain neutrality and ensure a fair process as they prepare to compete for votes in the upcoming local government election.
As I speak, all our candidates are campaigning across the 2 or 3 wards in the state. They are going around campaigning, and who, as a political party, we come into fray, next week to help them in the course of the campaign. Hopefully, we hope their messages will resonate with the people of Ondo State, and at the end of the day, we vote.
2025 now confirmed as the date for the electorate to choose their representatives across the 18 local government areas of Ondo State. Many are bracing for a final surge in activity from the 13 political parties involved in the election to boost voter awareness and informed decision-making. Sahira Ribisala, Osrc News.
The federal government has allocated 15 billion naira for the dualization of the Benin-Akure-Elisha Road, a new infrastructure project covering a total length of 150.7 kilometers. This initiative, part of the Ministry of Works budget within the proposed 49.74 trillion naira 2025 budget, includes two phases. Phase 1 focuses on rehabilitating the existing Benin-Akure Road, while Phase 2 will add a new lane to the existing carriageway. This allocation is detailed in the 2025 federal government final budget proposal. To Ekiti State, where the Ekiti State Police Command has arraigned one Ogunride Temitope before a State Chief Magistrate Court, Ado Ekiti District, for allegedly stealing 2 phones. The prosecutor, Akinwale Oriyomi, told the court that the defendant on January 6, 2025, at about 3 a.m. at the Ado community area in Ado Ekiti Magisterial District, did steal an iPhone 7 valued at 200,000 naira, a property of Osrc Samuel. He added that Temitope also stole an iPhone 12 Pro valued at 480,000 naira, belonging to one Bakari Simiat, on the same date and place at about 4 a.m. The defendant's counsel, Abiola, urged the court to admit his client to bail, saying he would not jump bail. Chief Magistrate Abayomi Adeosun granted bail to the defendant till February 6, 2025 for a hearing. To the education arena, the management of a private school which trended in the news following the physical abuse of a 3-year-old boy, Abayomi Michael, has suspended one of its teachers, Stella Nwadigo, who was accused of the assault. A video shared on X by a tweet captured the teacher slapping the child. However, the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency has confirmed the teacher's arrest. The school management announced Nwadigo's suspension while describing the development as a troubling incident, saying the teacher's act is contrary to the school's values and principles. The management apologized to the pupil and his family and pledged its commitment to ensure that such behavior is never repeated. Meanwhile, the teacher, Stella Nwadigo, arrested for physically assaulting a 3-year-old pupil, has appeared before Magistrate Emo Kusano at the Ogba Magistrate Court. Nwadigo, who was apprehended after a video surfaced online showing her repeatedly slapping the young child, Abayomi Michael, reportedly pleaded not guilty to the charges read to her. The Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency dragged the teacher to court. The suspect has been remanded in a correctional facility and the case is adjourned to the 18th of January 2025 for trial. President Bola Tinubu has ordered an investigation to uncover the circumstances that led to a terrorist attack on an army base in Sabon Gidan Daboa, leading to loss of 6 soldiers. While commiserating with the military over the loss, President Tinubu directed the authorities to further probe the unfortunate incident, ensuring it serves as a lesson to prevent similar occurrences. Tinubu, who commended the armed forces for their swift response, urged them to intensify efforts in targeting the camps of bandits and terrorists, with particular attention to the northwest, where innocent villagers continue to face threats from criminal groups. He also appealed to Nigerians and the media to support the military in its mission to restore peace and security across the nation. We're due to take a break on the news at 7. We'll be back with more stories. Stay with us. It's still Osrc News at 7. Thanks for rejoining us. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at Osrc TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel Osrc TV Odo. Now to the market. Onions is a staple in Nigeria cuisine, essential for everything from stews to soups. However, the recent surge in onion prices has left many struggling to afford this vital ingredient. The price of onions has skyrocketed, with a basket now costing 250,000 naira from 50,000 naira, a sharp increase from previous rates. Abidemi Akinrote reports that this drastic rise has raised concerns about the availability of this vegetable. There's more in this report.
The demand for onion in Nigeria is rising due to their essential role as both a vegetable and a spice, with health benefits such as cancer risk reduction and blood sugar management. Nigeria ranks as the third largest producer of onion in Africa and the 7th globally, contributing about 10% to the world's onion production. In 2019, the country produced approximately 1.4 million metric tons, making it the second largest producer in Africa. However, seasonal scarcity leads to significant price hikes, causing concern among consumers. A market survey in Erekeson Market, Akure, the Ondo State capital, reflected a shortage that has become a national issue, impacting Nigeria's food culture. People have voiced their concern about how to alleviate the onion scarcity.
So, ẹ mọ̀ pé irú ilé tá máa rà ní 200 naira is almost 2,000 now. Wọ́n pé ilé wa dá láti gbin àlùbọ́sà. Ó yẹ ká try náà ká lè gbìn so that tá bá ti gbìn ní ilẹ̀ tiwa náà á túbọ̀ shape sí.
The price is too cost because I bought 500 before it's 100 naira. This 500 onions is 100 naira but we cannot as the cost is too high.
Àlùbọ́sà wọ́n lágbára o. Bẹ́ẹ̀ mi mọ̀ bóyá tán bá gbé ní side ọ̀dọ̀ wa bí ó lè wà òkè. Bẹ́ẹ̀ àlùbọ́sà tí wọ́n ju èmi báyìí tó wáyé pé tó bá fẹ́ ṣe ọbẹ̀ eléyìí tó yẹ kí n fi mẹ́ta sí màá ra fi ẹyọ kan sí.
It affects us seriously. I cannot say only me, everybody, because this onion that you are seeing here, before you will buy this one like 1,000, but now it's 5,000. You know it's not easy.
Agricultural experts Idowu Oludare and Abiodun Adeko discussed reasons for farmers' reluctance to plant onion in the southwest.
Major why for the scarcity of onion in southwest Nigeria is simply because our northern brothers who are into onion production got a supply order from other neighboring countries like Chad, Niger, and every other ones to supply them onion, and that is why you discovered it's for quite some years we've not been having those big bulbs any longer. So they take the big bulbs for exportation, and the remaining ones, the residues, are those ones that are brought to us. Of all the regions in Nigeria, the southwest region, we are the most consumers of both tomato and onion, and because of the effect of the demand that are imposed on them at the north, they couldn't supply. There's no enough supply for us at the south.
As a result of flooding, so most of the onion farm were flooded, were washed away by the flood, and the few ones that the farmers were able to gather were those ones that are now coming to southwest.
The experts also proposed solution to enhance crop productivity.
Solution still on the government to give earnest attention to agriculture as a whole, and whilst doing that, they should look at some commodities that are very, very viable, like onion, and you know, little did we know that in Southwest we have our land is better off what we have in the North when it comes to onion production.
And if you want to grow onion in the Southwest, you can only grow onions between the time there is no rain, maybe during the Harmattan period when they have the dry season, between November, December, January. Those are the 3 months that basically we can actually grow onions in the Southwest.
The ongoing onion shortage is a pressing issue that requires immediate actions from all stakeholders to ensure a stable supply and mitigate potential repercussions on Nigeria's agricultural sector. Abidemi Akinrotoye, Osrc News.
To health matters, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC) says the country is not under serious threat following the spread of the human methaneum of the world. The agency has assured Nigerians that the country is safe and there is no cause for alarm. NCDC Director General Jide Idris said the country is monitoring the situation and is on high alert with no cases reported in Nigeria. The agency listed avoiding overcrowded places, washing of hands and other parts as part of measures against the virus. Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani, has announced that telecom tariffs will increase, though not by the 100% proposed by operators. Telecom operators have proposed a 100% increase in their tariffs pending government approval. The proposal submitted to the Nigeria Communications Commission seeks to address rising operational costs, including inflation and higher service delivery expenses. The minister, during the stakeholders meeting in Abuja, highlighted the importance of proper regulations to ensure the telecommunications sector's sustainable growth. Tijani also acknowledged telecom operators' push for substantial tariff adjustments, attributing it to a rising operational cost. He noted that the government is working to mitigate the impact of tariff hikes on Nigerians through targeted measures. The People's Republic of China government says it would consider Nigeria's request to expand the bilateral currency swap agreement. China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi revealed this after meeting with President Bola Tinubu at the Osrc Villa in Abuja today. Wang reaffirmed the momentum in bilateral financial ties, inviting Nigeria to explore issuing panda bonds in China's markets while expressing confidence in Nigeria's economic stability. Wang noted that by tapping into these bonds, Nigeria stands to gain an additional stream of revenue that will support key infrastructure endeavors such as railway modernization, with safety ensured through targeted financial backing. Meanwhile, Nigeria and China have rejected external interference in Africa's security affairs, reaffirming their commitment to African-led solutions for regional peace and stability. The Chinese Foreign Minister emphasized China's opposition to foreign involvement in Africa's internal matters, stressing the importance of African nations leading their own peacekeeping and counter-terrorism efforts. Outside Nigeria, a new fire is burning in the Los Angeles area, and mandatory evacuation orders are in place on Hollywood. At least 5 people have been killed in multiple wildfires across LA. Tens of thousands of people have fled their homes. US President Joe Biden has ordered federal assistance and the National Guard has been deployed. Officials say the situation is one of the worst Los Angeles has ever experienced. Aderoge Kolawale has more on the story.
In the community of Pacific Palisades, street after street full of houses have been reduced to smoldering ash. At least 1,000 buildings in the area have been destroyed.
It's Armageddon. I'm driving through a war zone right now and I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless. We're having to walk.
Dozens of people had to abandon their cars in traffic jams and flee on foot as the flames bore down.
Grab this ball. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to get your walker to our.
In Pasadena, Residents of an assisted living facility were evacuated on a moment's notice.
I was running up to the third story, second story, carrying people down, just picking them up.
The exact number of houses, historic sites, local landmarks and places of worship destroyed is not yet known, but the toll is expected to be heartbreakingly large.
Last night was one of the most devastating and terrifying nights that we've seen in any part of our city, at any part of our history.
Thousands of firefighters are battling the blazes, but it has been difficult to fight the fire from the air with water and flame retardant dropping aircraft because of the dangerous erratic winds.
We're prepared to do anything and everything as long as it takes to contain these fires and help reconstruct.
President Joe Biden promised federal aid. Firefighting crew from Arizona, Nevada, Washington and Oregon are racing to assist California, hoping to avert an even bigger disaster. Adirunke Kolawole, Osrc News.
At least 13 people have been killed in a Russian airstrike targeting residential buildings in the southeastern Ukrainian city of Zaporizhzhia. According to the regional governor, 2 guided bombs struck the area, causing significant destruction. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky continues to call on Ukraine's allies to increase pressure on Moscow to halt its attack. Blessing Obe has details.
Carnage near the city center in Zaporizhzhia. A Russian airstrike close to what's described as industrial infrastructure, a factory of some sort. The impact zone very clearly, including a busy public street. Bodies lie where they fell. People strolling into danger at 10 to 4 in the afternoon, just as a shift change at the factory was underway. Volunteers and rescue workers rushed to help the injured. A multi-story apartment building in flames.
People were leaving from their shift through the main entrance, and that's when the attack came. There were 2 very loud explosions.
Sending condolences to loved ones, President Zelensky described it as Russian terror. He warned the casualty to could rise.
This shows once again what Russia truly seeks. They want only war and only victims. This is why we must not waste a single day. We must put pressure on Moscow. We must force Russia into peace. We must continue doing everything necessary to protect lives and stop deaths. And at the same time, it is crucial to maintain the unity of all our partners, America and Europe, all our partners around the world who are helping us.
Blessing Obi, Osrc News.
And to end, Osrc expressed their readiness for the January 18 local government election in Edo State as they claim strategic engagements are on